Hello guys, Diplomat here, and it's been a little while since I've made a video. I've been very busy over the December period with work and stuff, but we're back and we have a special battle today. So this is me against Ulder. Now the battle is actually from Ulder's point of view because I forgot to save the replay, but he's Wood Elves and I'm taking Greenskins. This is in the Invaders Era tournament, which was a Russian one. I'll put a link to the bracket in the description. But yeah, he picked Wood Elves on Alpine Ridge, I went Greenskins, and what's great about this battle is we both use Vanguard deployments straight away, so yeah, the battle hasn't even started yet, so I'm going to have to talk about everything because we get straight into the action in a moment. So I've gone with 5 missile archers. 4 of them are the Goblin Wolf Rider archers, and then I've also got some Forest Goblin Spider Rider archers. The aim of these guys is in case he takes Hawk Riders or something, I can shoot them down. And also the Wood Elves infantry is quite lightly armoured, so they do decent damage. They can obviously run down Glade Guard or something like that. So all around they're quite a good utility unit against the Wood Elves. I've also got 4 nasty Skulkers at the front. I've got the 8-peak Loonies who are unbreakable in the centre. I've got 2 units of Orc Boys and 2 units of Black Hawks, and then we've got Orc Boy Biggins, 1 on each flank. For general, I've gone with Grimgore because he's got a lot better leadership than the other Greenskin Lords. I've got a Goblin Big Boss on a Wolf for chasing down any heroes he might have on foot. And I've also got the Night Goblin Shaman with Itchy Nuisance and Sneaky Stabbing. So on Ulder's side, he's got Wild Riders, 2 units right on the top of the hill. He's got 5 units of Eternal Guard with shields. I know not all of them have shields. So 2 without, and oh yeah, only one of them's got shields. The 4 don't have. And then there's also 4 Wildwood Rangers. Now these are some pretty heavy hitting infantry units. Wait, no, there's only 3. I'm getting confused. The units are so close together. But yeah, these are really heavy hitting melee units, and they can do some pretty devastating damage to the Greenskin infantry. Then in the air, he's got a Spellsing of Life, he's got a Great Eagle, he's got Hawk Riders, and he's also got a Glade Lord, the female one, who is more missile focused, and she's on a Forest Dragon. So I'm going to slow-mo this to start because it's pretty crazy. So I get some initial shots off on the Wild Riders. Ulder's sent a move order, all his forces, he's just rushing the hill. And we're going to see some cav action in a minute. So he gets a nice charge with the Wildwood Riders. And the Nasty Skulkers, this is actually downhill, and the Nasty Skulkers don't have their smoke bomb ability up yet. There's a little timer on it. So that's going to be really devastating. The Nasty Skulkers have low armour as well, so they're going to take a massive punishment. On this side, he looks like he's getting a bit of a charge as well, and I'm pulling back with my Goblin Spider Riders while I'm moving my infantry force up. And this is 10 seconds into the game and one of my units is already routing. They didn't get a very good charge because it was kind of on the sideways, and they're actually going to pull out now, so at least that unit didn't really get devastated straight away. But the problem over here is he's left his unit in a little too long, and my Orc Boy Biggins should be able to get a nice counter charge. Yeah, the only problem with this is it's uphill, so I've got a bit of a disadvantage, but the Orc Boy Biggins should be able to clean that fight up. So now he's got good vision over my army. He's got the aerial units at the top, and he's still rushing his forces up. It looks like he's probably going to be able to beat me to the top. Now I've got a little bit of supporting fire, and I'm going to bring the archers on each side, kind of round the back. I'll put it in full speed now, so we're not playing the whole game at half speed. So yeah, the Wild Riders are taking a lot of damage now. Getting a couple of shots. He gets the Arrow of Kronos off into my Orc Boy Biggins, does decent damage. I'm going to try and get a melee charge onto the Wildwood Rangers because they've got low armour, so a charge is going to do a lot of damage in that part. So I do get into them. And this side is going to wreck my Skulkers again, and because it was sideways, it wasn't the best engagement, and I should really be pulling out of them. I'm taking loads of damage from the Eternal Guard now. That wasn't a good move on my part. And now he actually beat me to the top, so he gets a downhill charge on the 8-peak Loonies, Night Goblins. On this side, I've killed his cavalry, but now we've got Black Hawks against Eternal Guard, and for me that's not good because that's a really elite unit against a fairly cheap one. The Black Hawks will be a lot more useful in the centre against the Wildwood Rangers. So some spells go down. We've got Itchy Nuisance and Sneaky Stabbing, I think. He's used Earthblood to heal his units in the centre, which is really good. These Wildwood Riders have taken a little bit of damage. My archers at the back are just taking pot shots at this point. But you can see some of my Orc boys are already routing to the Wildwood Rangers. And my general's going to take a big charge now because the Glade Lords come down and the Great Eagle. And I haven't really got any melee units over here to support the general. I'm trying to move the Skulkers in. We've obviously got the Smoke Bomb ability, which is useful. But I really should have some cavalry over here, or maybe some regular melee Spider Riders, just to give my general a little more protection. So over here the Skulkers are just about holding up against the Eternal Guard, but his Wild Riders can come from flank now. Black Hawks are doing pretty well, holding off 2 units there, but they're a little bit outnumbered. It's taken me quite a while to take out this flank as well, because the Wood Elves infantry have pretty high leadership in general. And now the Night Goblin Shaman's getting taken out, he's terrified. And Grimgore's on his own here, so he's going to get outnumbered in this little engagement. I have got quite a lot of cavalry in the back, which is good. And I'm starting to win this engagement here with a little bit of cav support. But yeah, the big boss is separated from Grimgore, and Grimgore's not going to help, so he's getting targeted again, and he's going to start losing a lot of HP. The Great Eagle is doing loads of damage there. So I popped everything abilities I could, send in the Goblin Spider Riders, try and help them out a little bit. They've got poison. Nasty Skulkers are in there as well, but I am getting outnumbered at this point. All his infantry is pretty low, but he's managed to absolutely plough through most of mine. I've got some Black Hawks over here, which are pretty healthy. That's going to be a really key unit in the game. And I've also got a few Orc boys, but Grimgore's not in really good shape at the moment. He's still got some Wild Riders, which are causing a lot of problems to the little bit of infantry that I have got left. The Goblin's a bit exposed over here, and he's got low leadership. And now Alder's going to come in with the Eagles again and get some big damage on Grimgore. So even though Grimgore's really good in one-on-one combat, he's not too strong against cycle charging. That's his weakness. And I've barely done any damage to the Glade Lord over here. So he's still got some Eternal Guard over here. The Wolf Riders aren't doing enough damage to his infantry to really pay off in this scenario. Since he didn't bring any skirmishers, the Wolf Riders not as effective as usual. So now with this engagement here, the Forest Goblin Spider Riders aren't really the best cav unit to have in that little hero engagement. And now my big boss is going to rout. My general's not doing too well. I do get a smoke bomb off, but I've got nothing to capitalise on that. There's no melee units over here that can really do damage to his general or his heroes. And a lot of my infantry's routed at this point. He's still got this little position on the hill, the Wildwood Rangers holding out even though they're on very low HP. My Black Hawks have really taken a beating against all his infantry units. I've got a few nasty Skulkers in the middle, and I'm going to be able to get an Itchy Nuisance off. But you can see my melee units are breaking over here. Even though Spellsinger isn't good in melee, the rear charge penalty is really good at just finishing units off and making them out. I've got a couple units coming back, but nothing substantial enough, and now army losses are going to take hold and the units start routing. It's just Grimgore left on his own at this point. A couple archers in the back, but there's not much I can do. The air superiority of the Wood Elves really took this battle, and the early game he got a great advantage with the Wild Riders. You know, he even had one that was available in the mid game for him to flank around, whereas I lost my cavalry pretty quickly. So yeah, this is the strength of Grimgore. He can hold out on his own for a long time. He'll do some big damage with that axe, but it's just not enough in the grand scheme of things. So yeah, if you're playing against the Wood Elves, you really need to think of how you're going to counter the Glade Lord. You can try and get a bit of extra protection with your general, so using the regular spider riders, using Orc Warboy big guns, maybe take some more big bosses. But it was really well played by Ulder. You can see he got a lot of kills out of his cavalry, even though one of them died very quickly. And the key unit for him was the Wildwood Rangers. 99 was the lowest number of kills, which is pretty mad. They actually just slaughtered all of my cheap infantry. One of the Blackhawks did reasonably well, but the other one, 34 kills for Blackhawks, is very disappointing. So he was able to utilise his infantry extremely well. The Eternal Guard held up very well, and yeah, his Air Force, you saw throughout the game, they got some really crucial rear charges. So yeah, maybe next time I'd invest a little less in the... I wouldn't take these guys again, just stick with the Wolf Riders probably. Maybe not take so many nasty skulkers and focus on a little bit of a sturdier infantry corps. I think Grimgore actually did reasonably well against the infantry. 45 kills isn't bad at all. But it was just the people around him. There was no one to protect him, so I couldn't really get the full usage out of him. But yeah, it was really, really well played by Ulder. You can see barely any damage on his general. He protected the general very, very well. And it was a great use of the map and terrain as well. So I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be bringing some other battles from this tournament later on. So yeah, I'll see you next time. Peace.